Yo, what's up guys? It's Brendan Praise and today we're talking about which camera should I buy. This is a video I've been wanting to make for a long time, but I haven't had time because I'm busy and I'm a dad and I'm a husband and I'm just doing a lot of stuff. I finally had time and I couldn't wait to make this video because I also don't know which camera is the best to get, spoiler alert, but I'm gonna give some suggestions based on cameras that I've used and deals that I've seen that I thought, oh, this is a good deal. And so yeah, so I hope you guys gain something out of this. Obviously, I've said this before, I'm not like a guru, I'm not like a photography guru, I'm not a genius or a tech person or a scientist. So all of this is very based on opinion and just kind of research that I've done on my own. So I'm gonna give a list of 3 cameras that I think will be able to cover most of the things that people wanna use cameras for, because when you're looking for a camera to buy, it's not just as simple as what's the best camera to get. It's what do you want to use it for, and so forth and so forth. So yeah, so I'm just going to give you guys 3 cameras that I think you guys should look at, and if it works with what I'm going to suggest or with what you want to do, then maybe you can get it. And so the third camera is something I actually saw today as I was on Takealot. Is a 200D. It's a Canon 200D. I think it's a great camera. I've never used it. It's a DSLR. I'm not a fan of DSLR because they're like my banner. They're big and heavy for nothing. And but anyway, it gets the job done, and that's how they used to make cameras. So we kind of just have to accept it. But it's a pretty good deal that I saw on Takealot, where you can get it for like 6,000 Rand and some change, with like accessories, a good like Rode mic, and a lens, and a 24mm lens, which is a really good lens for beginners. And so I saw that deal and I thought, wow, this is actually a great thing. I'm not a fan of DSLRs. I will stress that. I'm very much into mirrorless. Again, if you don't know what the difference is, you can Google it, but mirrorless is just better. And it's just kind of more modern and it's easier to use and it's lighter, which is the best part. So yeah, the third camera, 200D, it's a DSLR, and I think it's 24 megapixels. It's pretty good. I think it'll be good for photography as well. So if you do like to do a lot of pictures for Instagram and you like to kind of shoot your YouTube thingy and you want to have a camera that's good at both, then I think that's a good it's a good camera to go for. In fact, that particular deal is a good deal to go for if you like pressed for finances, which most of us are, obviously, because money doesn't grow on trees. You should definitely check it out. Number 2, and this was tough because between the second and the first, they really both quite similar and quite great. Obviously not that similar, which is why number 2 is going to be number 2, because there's a few things about the number 2 camera that really bug me. But if it's not an issue for you, and I'm going to explain what the things are, and if it's not an issue for you, I don't see why you shouldn't get it, because it excels in a lot of other areas. So number 2 is the G7X Mark II. You probably have heard of this camera. This camera is like the it girl of the camera world. It's just really dope, and everyone has it. Everyone who's cool has it, and there's a reason for that. It's because it really has a nice image. Like, it's got a really beautiful image coming out of such a small camera, and that's another one of the things that makes it really great, is that it's quite small, so it's not intimidating, especially if if you've never used the camera before. You can kind of just switch it on and put it on automatic and just take a video, and it's gonna look nice. I'm not sure about the photography side. I've heard a few complaints. A lot of people don't like the pictures. They won't be bad. They'll obviously still be better than your cell phone, but it's not, I don't think that's where it shines the most, obviously, because it's such a small camera. So you have to obviously choose your battles. But the cool thing is it's really great for vlogging, and for like if you're gonna do a lot of traveling and you don't like to, it's great because you can just put it in your pocket and you can just kind of pull it out anywhere, and people won't be like alarmed by you. They won't think all of a sudden they're going to be on the tabloids or it's Joop now coming to get them. It's not going to be any situation like that. People are going to know, okay, cool, you're just doing your own thing. They're not going to be bothered by what you're doing at all. The reason for me, the main reason that it's number 2 on this list is because it doesn't have a microphone input. And I think I've spoken about this before in the last video. I am just a big fan of audio. Obviously, because I'm a musician, I really appreciate sound quality, and the fact that you can't change the sound of it, you can't better it, is a big issue for me, because it means it's always kind of gonna be a beginner camera. You're never ever gonna be able to do professional sound from it. You always have to use the onboard microphone, which is really good. It's okay, maybe not really good. It's okay. It's not gonna win a Grammy or like something. It's just fine. You can get by. People can hear you. But if you wanna start to do obviously more professional, and you will, because the more you do videos and the more you do your content, you kind of want to better yourself every time. So one of the ways to do that is to then invest in a microphone like the one I'm using, or like a shotgun microphone or whatever, some sort of external sound thing, accessory that's going to make your camera a lot better. Because trust me, if you put great audio on your video, it just makes the video a lot better. And if the audio sucks like this, then people don't want to listen, because this is just annoying. Like, why would anyone just want to listen to something so annoying? So it's really nice to be able to have the option when you can, because you will get to that point where you feel like, oh, I'm ready to grow, and you're going to want to invest. So with the G7X Mark II, you cannot do that, and that sucks. But other than that, still a great camera. So if you're just kind of doing home videos, tutorials or whatever, then it's amazing. And if you're like vlogging, walking, amazing camera. If you want to take photos as well and like trend, break the internet on Instagram, it's not going to happen with that camera. But I mean, maybe your family will like the pictures. And then number 1, and this is very subjective, because this is a camera that I was using for the longest time. I still have it. I'm actually like very fond of it. Like, I don't want to let it go, even though I haven't used it in a while. But yeah, we shot all of our videos using this next camera up until I think maybe the last 2 videos. And it's just a really, really great camera. It's a workhorse. It's built well, it's easy to use, user friendly, and that's the Canon M50. The Canon M50 is a mirrorless camera made by Canon, obviously, and it's just a really great camera. It gives you so much room to grow as a creator, and if you really give it time and you invest as you grow, it'll like shine for you. So yeah, so it comes with a kit lens, I think at around 9,000 or something, or 8 point something. The kit lens is okay. It's gonna get the job done. It'll still be better than your phone, and you're gonna like the results, and your audience is gonna like the results. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, killing the game now, must be getting money. Wow, people are gonna be amazed. But I would, as soon as you can, I would get another lens. I'd get the 50mm lens or the 24mm lens, or get both if you want, because the 50mm lens for that camera is hard to use because it's so zoomed in, because it's a 50mm, but because it's on that camera it becomes an 80mm, so it's just like super zoomed in. But the image that you get is gonna be like, it's gonna be 10 times better than with the kit lens. It's just gonna take it to another level. And because the 50mm lens is a 1.8 aperture, you're gonna get that beautiful background that's kind of blurred out a little bit. And yeah, like if you watched our love journey, that's literally the setup that we used to shoot our love journey. It's the Canon M50 with the 50mm lens, and obviously like a really nice light, and it just kind of really got the job done. Looks amazing. Yeah, let me see, what are the negative things about it? Well, the negative things about it is a can't really think of a lot, but the battery life isn't great. So you have to always make sure you charge it, or maybe have like an extra battery. So that part is not great. But other than that, for the price range, because this is still entry level, guys, like I know you feel like if you're spending 10,000 Rand, you should be getting something amazing, but in the world of cameras, that's just not the case. So this is still entry level, but it's really good. You can really push it. That's what I like about this camera, because you can get new lenses for it. You can get like a microphone. You spend an extra, let's say you spend an extra 4 grand, because if you get a new lens, you also need to get a mount for the lens, because it's not going to directly go onto the camera. So I should let you guys know that. So the lens might be 1,800 Rand, but then you have to spend another 1,700 for the mount. But once you spend that, look, that's an extra maybe 4 grand or so. But once you do that, it's just gonna unlock a whole new world. It's gonna be really good in photography. Like the pictures are gonna be a lot better than all the other cameras that I mentioned, and the video is gonna be really smooth, silky. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be amazing. You're gonna thank me. You're gonna come back in the comments and be like, ah, Brapi, you were right. You were right, Brapi. So yeah, so those are my top 3 cameras that I recommend. You'll notice that most of them are Canon. That's because I just think Canon is it just makes sense, especially if you're a beginner, and most of us are. We didn't go to film school or photography school or whatever. If you did, then you shouldn't be watching this. But most of us are beginners, and so Canon is very easy to use. It's kind of like using your cell phone. It just makes sense. And with the Canon M50, this is another thing that I love. It's got 2 different menus where you can choose the beginner menu, and the beginner menu explains everything. Like when you select something, it tells you what you're selecting and what that does. And trust me, it's gonna make so much easier if you're kind of getting into it for the first time. And then yeah, and so those are the cameras that I think are out in the market currently that I would take a look at if I was to buy a new camera. Obviously in that order, the 200D, great camera. I've never used it, but I'm not a fan of DSLRs. That's just the thing. I don't like a big and heavy Mapena for no reason. It doesn't make sense, and it's just a lot of work. Also, when you're shooting, when you're taking pictures, if you've ever used an electronic viewfinder, which is the thing that you look at, if you've ever used an electronic one, you'll realize there's just no need for DSLRs and all that stuff, because when you're using a DSLR, the image is bouncing on a mirror, and so you're just kind of seeing a weird image that looks nothing like what you're seeing on the screen. That's why a lot of then photographers will just take pictures looking at the screen, but then you don't look professional. It's just a mess. So at least with mirrorless cameras, the viewfinder, the thing that you look at, it's kind of like looking at your screen. So it's just like when you take pictures, you know exactly what you're seeing. It looks exactly, you can get your exposure right. Everything is just proper. So that's why I like mirrorless and whatever. But if you just have 6,000 something and that's the best you can do, then definitely go for it. It's still going to be a good camera. It's still going to get you results. So I hope you guys took something from this, and I really hope that I can help answer some of the questions that you guys have. So if you do have more questions about anything, just drop it in the comments, and then maybe the next video will be about that. Cheers, guys.